and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. So guys, as we have already established by the title, today's reading is all about your next soulmate. And I want you guys to not get this confused with your next twin flame. Relationships with soulmates can be platonic, such as friendships. They don't have to be romantic. And also you can have quite a few more soulmates in one lifetime than you can have twin flames. A twin flame is really somebody who comes into your life once, maybe twice in a lifetime, and usually it is within a romantic relationship. So I just wanted to clear that up for you guys in case any of you were confused about the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame. So you guys, in order to help you figure out exactly who your next soulmate is, I have prepared 4 groups that you can choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. So just go with whichever group that you feel drawn to, with whichever one that you feel resonates with you. So the 4 groups are as follows. We have the orange calcite, we have the diopside, we have the blue quartz, as well as the black tourmaline. And for all of you who are new to my channel, the timestamps to all 4 groups are down below in the description box, as well as pinned to the comment section. So yeah guys, I want to keep this intro very short and to the point so we can spend more time within the individual readings and really get all the little nitty-gritty details out for you. So I'm going to be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the orange calcite, and to all the other groups I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the orange calcite group number 1, and I want to get straight into your reading to figure out everything about your next soulmate. So let's get right into it, shall we? First and foremost, we have the 7 of acorns. So the suit of acorns corresponds to fire signs. So your next soulmate could be a fire sign. One thing that I also see here is that they're somebody who is very determined. They're somebody who is very much a go-getter kind of personality, and they will not allow anything to get in between themselves and whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish. So this soulmate relationship may be one that really motivates you, that really drives you, and that's the reason why they're in your life. If this is in a romantic setting, know that there is a good possibility for you two to work together, for you two to maybe build a side hustle together, because this person is so motivated and because this person is so eager to accomplish what it is that they have set their mind to. So moving further into your reading, we have the Knight of Crystals as well as the Knight of Feathers. So we have 2 cards that correspond to the Knight, and the Knight is a figure that is very loyal and that has purpose. So your next soulmate knows exactly where they're heading in life. They're somebody who is very confident, and in the Knight of Crystals, one thing that I see is that they're still at the beginning of their journey when it comes to their health and when it comes to their finances. So right now they may be content with where they stand, but they know this is not it. This is not the end point. They feel like they still have so much to accomplish, so much to do. And in the Knight of Feathers, I want you to know that they're very intelligent. They're going to use the fact that they're very quick and just very, how should I say, like they take in information so easily and then turn it into action, okay? That is what the Knight is all about, acting and doing things. So sometimes this person, your next soulmate, can be a little bit impulsive, which may reflect within your relationship with them, with, you know, arguments and so on, where they say things impulsively, you say things impulsively, and then you don't talk to each other for like a day, and then you just like reconcile and everything's fine. But there is sort of like very impulsive energy around here for your next soulmate. In the world, I see that they're going to bring you to a very fulfilled state. So group number 1, I really have the feeling like your next soulmate may have a lot to do with your twin flame, okay? So your next soulmate may be your twin flame at the same time. They may be, you know, that person that you feel very romantic about, okay? That you have like a very strong sexual chemistry, but at the same time, you are also like best friends. So kind of like the ideal relationship, if you will, group number 1. And I definitely see that they will celebrate every little achievement along the way with you. And they're the type who will help you whenever it is that you need help. So don't feel like, you know, you're all in the things that are important by yourself. Don't feel like they're only here to play games. Everything that is truly important to you, like your career that really holds a lot of weight, they're there every step of the way, and they're going to push you every step of the way. Then we have the Night Wind, as well as yin and yang. So in the Night Wind, one thing that I see here is that your next soulmate is going to help you face your fears. So you may have some doubts in correlation to what you can achieve, in correlation maybe to your looks, to your exterior appearance, but I see that your next soulmate is really going to help you like subconsciously release this, as well as heal from any sort of feelings of not being good enough, from any sort of feelings where you feel as though you're lacking something. And in yin and yang, I see that they are just all for creating harmony. They're all for creating balance. That is one thing that is super important to them, and it will reflect within just how you feel when you're with them. You'll feel very balanced. You'll feel like everything is how it is supposed to be, and they're just the kind of human being who feels as though if I take, I also need to give. So your next soulmate is definitely somebody who is not selfish. They are super into having things be equal. You know, they're not the kind of person who wants that friendship where they do all the work or you do all the work and vice versa, you know, nothing is given. So that is one thing that I see that is important to them. Then we have Perception as well as Winter's End. So in Perception, one thing that I see here is that they can see through any lies that you may try to tell. So this does not mean that you're somebody who regularly tells lies, of course, but whenever you're trying to like avoid a conversation or trying to not give them information, they're going to know, they're going to feel it, and they can just completely read you. They know you so well, they know you almost better than you know yourself. And in Winter's End, I want you to know here that they are always there to sort of like push you to take breaks. They're always there to push you to have fun, because maybe you're at a point in your life where you're pretty serious, or where things are getting pretty serious when it comes to your career, when it comes to just who you are going to become. And sometimes we're so entangled in that we forget to take breaks, that we forget to like keep in mind that we're only humans. We need times out. We need time for regeneration, to really just relax and be in the moment. And that is one thing that your next soulmate is going to bring to you. They're going to bring to you a lot of mindfulness, as well as just, you know, being relaxed, a lot more relaxation for you, group number one. We have You're Already Doing It. We have the Council of Light. And then we have the Crumbling. So group number one, I definitely see here that you have to like stop overthinking, and that is one thing that your soulmate feels as well. Okay, so your soulmate is somebody who is more carefree than you. Your soulmate is somebody who does not overthink things, and they just like kind of do it. They just kind of go for it. And if they fall flat on their face, they're okay with that too, because they just think to themselves, well, at least I tried. And that is the kind of mindset that they're trying to not like push you into, but they're trying to show you that that mindset can really be beneficial, to not be so stressed out all the time, and to not constantly feel as though something's up or something's lacking. And in the Council of Light, I want you to also just put a little bit more of your faith into the fact that life is not out to get you, okay? Life is not out to create something that is not in your favor, as long as you make sure that the energy that you're putting out there is the right thing. And in the Crumbling, I want you to know that just the fact that your soulmate is somebody who is so like carefree, who is very cool with any situation, who is very spontaneous, is going to allow you to have your walls tumble and fall down and not panic about it. You're not going to think to yourself that your entire life is just going to be upside down because of this. You are actually going to just allow it to happen and get out of that comfort zone, get out of those walls that you built, where, you know, behind those walls is organization, behind those walls is making sure that you're not too spontaneous, that you're not missing out on any vital information. Like, you are breaking those walls down to still have that space, but also to be able to step to the other side where there is fun, where there is a carefree time, where there is just somebody who just wants you to let loose and live your best life. So group number one, I definitely see that your next soulmate is a fun enabler, if you will. They're the kind of person that brings you out of your shell and allows you to just have a good time, party, and get things done that you want to get done, but everything has to kind of be in balance. So group number 1, this is the reading that I received for you regarding your next soulmate. I truly hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you found it insightful. If you did, let me know down in the comment section, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Diopside group number 2. I want to get straight into your reading to figure out exactly who your next soulmate is. So let's get started, shall we? First and foremost, we have the Page of Acorns. So group number 2, just for your information, the suit of acorns corresponds to fire signs. So this may be somebody who is of a fire sign, or just someone who has that kind of energy. And furthermore, I want you to know here in the Page of Acorns that they're somebody who is very enthusiastic about new things. They're very enthusiastic about trying new things, about just speaking to you about everything that interests them, everything where they feel like they have a passion for it. So they're definitely somebody who is very passionate, but also someone who always likes to adapt this beginner mindset. They never feel like they know it all. They never feel like they're the kind of person who has everything set just because they are themselves. They always feel as though they can learn a little more, which is what you really appreciate about them, because they give you inspiration as well as motivation to continue trying to be the best version of yourself. Let's move further into reading. We have the Knight of Acorns, we have the 5 of Shells, as well as the Chariot. So in the Knight of Acorns, one thing that I see here is that once they have set their mind to something, once they have conducted the necessary research of whatever topic it is that they're into, they're going to take action, okay? They're going to take very dedicated and sort of like goal-focused action in order to get to wherever it is that they would like to go. So they are very driven, your next soulmate. Your next soulmate is somebody who gives you a lot of hope, because whenever you're in a dark situation, whenever you're in a spot where you feel like things are hopeless, you look at them and you look at how far they've come, and you know how far they're probably still going to go, and it gives you drive, it gives you motivation, it gives you hope to see things with like another view, with other eyes, if you will, okay? And it allows you to see the glass sort of like as half full always, instead of as half empty. And in the Chariot, one thing that I see is that your next soulmate is somebody who is very disciplined, and that is one thing that you like. You see that they're very determined, and that once they sort of choose a path, they're not afraid to go down the path relentlessly until they hit a wall where they feel like they should change the path. So your next soulmate is not somebody who allows themselves to be influenced by other people. Your next soulmate is someone who has a very strong opinion of their viewpoints, a very strong opinion of what they should be doing in life, and that is exactly what they're going to follow, because they are not a follower, they are a leader. Your next soulmate is somebody who has a lot of great leadership qualities, who is probably also somebody who has a very good sort of like job, who is very successful at what it is that they do, and that is something that you love. So this soulmate could obviously also be like a romantic interest. This does not have to be platonic, but as I said, this could also be a great friend that motivates you constantly. Then we have Remembrance as well as Apprehension. So group number 2. In Remembrance, one thing that I see here is that your next soulmate is somebody who has a lot of sort of like skeletons in their closet, okay? I see here that they have a lot of apprehension, doubt, and fear to speak about their past, because their past is maybe not at all what reflects their present. They may have been someone completely different, somebody that you would not recognize or would not want to have in your life. They could have been like that, yeah, 5 or 10 years ago, maybe even less than that, but they did a complete 180. They completely changed their life around, and now they kind of want to leave the past in the past. They do not want to drag it with them into the future, especially if they've done something that they're kind of embarrassed about, or they kind of feel like puts them in a very bad light. So be very cautious of that, group number 2. Don't push it, okay? Don't make them feel as though they have to open up about that aspect about themselves, because they will not appreciate that, and that is something that may push them away. Then we have Sacred Heart, as well as attachment. So I definitely see that your future soulmate is somebody who is very, who gets very attached, who has a lot of trouble letting go, okay? This is someone who, once they're very close to you, they have this fear of losing you, and they will do whatever they can in order to make sure that you stay together and that nothing happens to the relationship. So they're very dedicated once they have decided that your bond is very strong. And in the Sacred Heart, furthermore, I want you to know here that your future soulmate is somebody who shares a lot of passion with you, who shares a lot of love. There's somebody who finds you attractive and who finds you the kind of person where they really have like a deep spiritual connection that they may have not been able or fortunate enough to share before. So know that just being in love or just having like a deep connection is very different to having a deep spiritual connection. A deep spiritual connection is so much different. It's just like a very special feeling because you can bond over something that only you understand. You can bond over something that other people would not know unless they were into it as well. So that creates a lot of intimacy in your relationship. That creates a lot of like just extra love and extra knowingness that this is the person that is meant to be in your life, group number 2. So then we have the inner temple as well as the initiation. So one thing that I see here is that group number 2, your next soulmate is somebody who is a little bit of a party pooper sometimes. So they are the ones who say no to you. They are the ones who tell you not to do something when they see that it is probably a bad idea. So I don't want you to see them as a party pooper, as I just described them as. I want you to see them as somebody who genuinely cares about you, because that is the thing with genuine relationships. When somebody genuinely cares about your well-being and genuinely cares about whether you succeed or not, they're going to tell you if they feel like one of your ideas or one of the things that you would like to do might not be a good idea in the long run, or might not be a good opportunity for you if you consider all the little details and factors. So they're looking out for you and they are considering all the little details that you might not be. Then in the initiation, I want you to know here that you're going somewhere very sacred with them, and they kind of like open up the portal of your heart. So group number 2, I truly feel like your next soulmate is also your twin flame. There's somebody where you're going to a space that you've never been before. You're able to cooperate and work together in a very like unconventional way, okay? This is a very unconventional relationship where you have this mutual and deep understanding that nobody else gets, nobody else would know. And in the inner temple, I want you to know here that there is strong devotion from both sides. They are so devoted to the cause of being with you, just as you are so devoted to making sure the relationship works between you and them as well. So there's a very mutual kind of need here. There's a very mutual kind of codependency, which obviously you want to make sure that you do not become too codependent, but a little bit of codependency just shows how strong your bond is, and it just shows how you feel like you need each other to motivate each other, to be there for each other. And it is something that one can also appreciate, group number 2. So don't worry about too much codependency, about too much closeness, if you will. A little bit of it is healthy, and a little bit of it just shows a very strong relationship. So group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know down in the comment section what really hit home, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the blue quartz, group number 3. I want to get straight into your reading to figure out exactly who your next soulmate is. So let's get right into it, shall we? First and foremost, we have the 2 of shells. So in the 2 of shells, one thing that I see is that your next soulmate may also be your twin flame, okay? Your next soulmate may be somebody that you're really in a very romantic relationship with. I didn't know that there were differences between how romantic you are, but honestly, like, this relationship is one where romance, passion, just love and harmony are at the forefront, okay? Those are all things that are very important to you as well as to your next soulmate, and you just form one union. You're kind of like this union where 2 people come into one, and you are pointing in the same direction, okay? You're going down the same path, you get each other, you have the same dreams and aspirations, and that is what really allows you to be in such a like harmonious relationship with each other, because you know everything about each other and you know exactly what the other person wants and needs, and you also know how to push their buttons though, group number 3. And that is one thing that I want to speak to you about. When you know exactly what buttons to push, you can sometimes use those buttons in an argument, in a disagreement, to, how should I say, your advantage. You can use those buttons because you know they're there and you know that you have them. So that is one thing that I want you to look out for. But apart from that, this is really a relationship that is great, okay? There's no other way to say it, group number 3. Then we have the 9 of crystals, we have the 3 of feathers, as well as the 10 of feathers. So we have a lot of like feathers that have to do with air signs, okay? Feathers correspond to the air, and I want you to know here that an air sign may be your next soulmate, your next twin flame. And the 10 of feathers, one thing that I see here is that in order to meet them, you have to go through like a complete transformation. So if you're feeling really weird right now, I want you to know that spiritual awakenings are nothing that is not really something that is, how should I say, it's not really something glamorous, okay? I feel like a lot of people glamorize spiritual awakenings, a lot of people glamorize transformations and glow ups, but there are a lot of stages that are not cute at all. There are a lot of stages that should better be left in the past. So that is one thing that I see you like going through right now, or needing to go through first until you can meet them. And furthermore, in the 3 of feathers, I definitely see here that you will meet them as soon as you're able to release anything that is holding you back, okay? Your next soulmate is somebody who is very focused on achieving things and not letting anybody hold them back. So if they meet you prior to your transformation, like, they will realize that you're not ready. They will realize that you still have a little bit of growth to do, which will kind of like keep you apart for longer. But I want you to know, group number 3, that this growth can be achieved by you releasing any sort of fear of failure, by you making sure that you're never doing anything anymore to please other people or because you want to attain a certain image towards other people. What other people think about you is none of your business, group number 3, and I want you to keep it that way, and I want you to make sure that you release any fear or anxiety of going out in public and doing what it is that you want to do. So if you're, for instance, worried to wear a certain outfit, if you're worried to just conduct yourself in a certain manner that you feel really like resonates with who you are, and you're not harming anybody else, but you're just worried that people are going to look at you and talk about you or think that you're weird or make fun of you, you have to release that, okay? This soulmate relationship is far more mature and far more concerned with things that actually have an impact on your life rather than just worrying about what other people think about you. So that is one thing that you have to let go of. Of course, we all have our insecurities, and if there's something that you're not happy with, make sure that it's because you're not happy with it and not because you feel like it makes you undesirable in society, because lots of trends come and go with clothing, with body shapes, with makeup, etc. So don't feel like you're like stuck forever in this situation. That is definitely not accurate, group number 3. Then we have peace as well as intuitive communication. So group number 3, one thing that I see here in intuitive communication is just the fact that you can be with this person and it's never awkward. Like, you know when to talk and when speaking is not necessary. You guys just get each other without even saying anything. You get each other without having to communicate how you feel. You can just like instinctively feel and capture where they're at right now. You can just instinctively know what they need from you. And in peace, I want you to know here that your next soulmate is somebody who has a lot of thoughts that are maybe unwanted or that are disturbing them. So their inner peace is what they're focused on, and that is why they want somebody who is ready. That's why they want somebody who they can really get along with on a very deep level, because they're not so much concerned about other people's opinions. Your next soulmate is somebody who does not care about what other people think or conforming to society. And group number 3, just so that you know, that may also reflect in their appearance. And furthermore, they are more concerned with their mental health because they're dealing with something mentally that is not easy. So it could be, for instance, an eating disorder, it could be body dysmorphia, it could be a form of OCD, it could be depression, and they just realize that there is so much more to life than to just worry about what other people are doing or what they're thinking about you, especially if it's not positive. Then we have the ocean of eternal love as well as the Zen garden. So there's definitely here in peace as well as the Zen garden a very strong connection to finding inner peace. So your next soulmate is most likely somebody who likes to meditate. They're most likely somebody that enjoys just discovering themselves as well as finding more and more ways to better themselves and to grow. In the ocean of eternal love, one thing that I see here is that there may be children, okay? There may be puppies, there may be kittens. There is just a situation here where, you know, fertility and forming a family or two families coming together is a big part of this relationship. So as I said, they are very, very likely going to be your twin flame. They're very likely the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with in a relationship, or at least a good chunk. And one thing that I see here is just the fact that there is so much love around in this relationship. There's so much love where you want to share it, where you want to, as I said, add another member to the family, or maybe join your existing families together and just get creative as a whole, you know, not keeping each other apart and building your own little family, building your own little community of people who just get each other and people who get along and are trying to make this world a better place. Then we have Imrama. So one thing that I see here is that you're going to meet your future soulmate in a place where you've been called to journey to. So there may be a trip that you feel in your heart you have to like do. There may be something that you feel like very drawn to. So that could be like online dating, that could be meeting up in new friend circles or talking to this specific person. And I want you to know that there's a reason why you're being drawn to that. I want you to know that there's a reason why you feel as though this is something that you need to do. And the reason is, group number 3, that is how you will meet them. That is how you will come in contact with them and end up starting off the conversation, which will start off this entire connection for you, group number 3. Then we have answer the call as well as the ever unfolding rose. So group number 3, if it couldn't be more obvious, here's another pointer towards the fact that you just have to follow that feeling and answer the call. I want you to know that your soul is calling you to do this. Your soul is telling you that this is the best option for you, that it's important for you to answer that call and to follow through with it. If you want an online date, create a profile, inform yourself about the best sites. If you want to hang out in a different friend circle or do more things by yourself outside of the house where you feel as though you may meet somebody, then do so. There are also a lot of great meetups in your city that you may not even know about, where you can go for painting classes, you can go for classes where you talk about business, you can go to networking events. Just know here that when you follow the call, that when you follow what your heart and your soul is sort of pushing you to do, you have this ever unfolding rose kind of energy. And in correlation to your soulmate, things are just going to continue developing and growing into something way bigger and more amazing than you had ever expected. So bigger and more amazing is in creating your own family, maybe starting your own business together that is going to grow into something a lot more grand than you ever expected. And maybe it's just a relationship where you go through such tough times and you know that not many other relationships would even survive this, but yours is thriving. Yours is able to overcome anything, group number 3. So this is the reading that I received for you regarding your next soulmate. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below what really hit home, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the black tourmaline, group number 4, a very protective stone. So I want to get straight into your reading to figure out exactly who your next soulmate is. So let's get right into it, shall we? First and foremost, we have the Three of Shells. So group number 4, one thing that I see for you in the Three of Shells in correlation to your next soulmate is the fact that they like to be the center of attention, okay? They like to go out, they like to have fun, they like to party. And to you, you may think to yourself, wow, thank God, because I don't want to be the center of attention and I don't want to be the one that everybody is looking to for answers or to be fun or whatever it is, okay? So the spotlight is not necessarily on you in this soulmate relationship. The spotlight is very much on them because they're a very outgoing kind of personality, and in correlation to the shells correspond to water signs. So I want you to know that they may be of a water sign, or they may just have that energy that is very caring, that likes to bring people together and really consider each and every person's feelings. So group number 4, if you're somebody who can be a little bit jealous, I just want you to know that your next soulmate does not mean any harm by giving other people attention. They do not mean any harm by, just trying to equally divide attention when there are other people involved. They don't like to favor certain people over others. So if you're at a party or you're somewhere with other human beings, know that they will divide their attention equally. They will not favor you just because you get along so well, but they will try and make everybody feel just as important, if you know what I mean, group number 4. Then we have the Nine of Acorns, we have Justice. Let's see what else we're gonna pull for you, group number 4, as well as the Page of Feathers. Okay, so group number 4, one thing that I see for you here in the Nine of Acorns is the fact that they're very close to hitting a very sweet spot in their life. Your next soulmate is probably somebody who is going to break through financially, or just whatever it is that they want to do in order to feel successful. I see that they're very close to hitting that next big milestone, and it's very important for them to be with people who they can trust, especially if it is important for them to be wealthy or it's important for them to be very well known. They don't want to be with people or around people who they can't trust. They don't want anybody in their circle that is not there for the right reason. So they're very watchful and they need the truth, okay? Your next soulmate is somebody where if you end up like lying to them, if you end up telling them a half truth or, as I said, a blatant lie, that trust is gone, okay? And there's no way to get it back. They will always remember that. They will always keep that in the back of their head, and they will never fully 100% trust you again, group number 4. And in the Page of Feathers, I see here that they're always into sort of like learning new things and trying to better themselves just by gaining, how should I say, gaining mental clarity, gaining more knowledge, okay? They're probably somebody who has academically accomplished a lot or who is very self-taught. They're someone who likes to pick up books and read and just know more about this world and how things work. In the Page of Crystals, as well as the Eight of Feathers, I see a lot going on here that has to do with discipline and just finding solutions, okay? In the Eight of Feathers, I see that they are constantly trying to find a way to make things work. If things are kind of like wobbly in one of their relationships, instead of thinking to themselves, oh, maybe this is not the relationship for me, they try and work it out. They're very old school, group number 4. Your next soulmate is somebody who does not think that they can just give up on the relationship, but they feel as though they have to put in a conscious effort to mend it. So if your next soulmate is indeed somebody who is your twin flame and you want to get married, for instance, know that they are a good candidate to be with because they're never just going to give up. They're always going to fight for things. And in the Page of Crystals, I see here that they're most likely in like a startup phase of starting their own business or going like freelance or just creating something that is new to them, okay? So they have a lot of great ideas come up and they are going to have to invest a lot of time, effort, and maybe also money into this project in order to get it off the ground. So their discipline side is really going to show, but what that means between you and your future soulmate is just that you have to give them the time that they require. You have to make sure that you give them space if they require space, because honestly, they're not going to appreciate if you're being clingy. They're not going to appreciate if you question why they're spending so much time on a project that hasn't even gotten off the ground, because then they'll just feel like you don't get it. They'll feel like you don't understand them. So be very cautious of that, group number 4, and keep in mind that whatever is important to them, don't say anything that would hurt their feelings about it, because that is something that they're very sensitive about, group number 4. And then we have healing as well as the hidden path. So group number 4, in healing, one thing that I see here is that your soulmate is somebody who likes to reconnect with their very like instinctual and natural side. So they're most likely not really into like fakeness. They're most likely not really into people who do crazy things with their appearance or change themselves to a very unnatural state. They're very into everything being natural, everything being eco-friendly, everything being environmentally friendly, if you know what I mean. So they feel very respectful of the earth as well as natural beauty. And in the hidden path, I want you to know here that they're all about sort of putting like spirituality and matter together. They don't make a difference there. So while they may like nice things, they don't feel as though matter, just like earthly things that you own, they don't feel like that is completely different from spirituality. They feel as though everything that they can accomplish in the material realms has to do with spirituality. It has to do with the fact that they're so connected and the fact that they really understand how to manifest, how to attract the things that they want into their life, and how to accomplish just new great heights in their material life through spirituality, through something that has actually not, that you can't hold, that you can't see, that you can't buy. They have this very interesting connection that marries these two aspects. And that is one thing that is very powerful when, yes, you want to accomplish things in the material world, but at the same time, you know that it takes spirituality. It takes knowing yourself. It takes having that motivation and dedication, and also just knowing how to use those tools that you have. Also knowing how to make use of the time in order to get to where you want to go on a material level. So two things that seem to not have a lot to do with each other or seem to clash when it comes to concepts are actually very tight. They're actually very close together because one can really help you create the other thing that you desire. Then we have the mirror. We have birthing a new age, as well as trust your path. So group number 4, I want you to know here that you and your next soulmate, you dream your world into being together. You have so many great ideas that you exchange with each other, and you're unafraid to talk about how big your goals are. You don't feel embarrassed to tell them that you want to be the next president of the world. You don't feel embarrassed when you're talking to them about how you want to summer in France and be on your yacht in Saint-Tropez. You feel like you can really speak to them about everything in the earthly realms that you want to accomplish, because you know they won't judge you, and you know that they will see that you're a spiritual being, but you also have things that you just want to prove to yourself that you can do, that you just want to know, like, okay, if somebody else has been able to do this, I can do this. And in the mirror, I want you to ask yourself, like, truly, what is so different about your soulmate that makes you feel like you can be so open compared to people where you feel embarrassed to talk about your goals and your dreams and your aspirations? And I'm not implying that you should change that. I'm not implying that you should just tell anybody what your goals are. I just want you to really like appreciate your soulmate and appreciate that quality that allows you to open up in front of them without being afraid, because other people don't give you that, and sometimes for good reason. And I'm a strong believer in just letting your accomplishments show what you've been doing. I'm a very strong believer in not talking, but just letting people see what you end up doing. And this is one thing that I definitely want you to consider, you know, just keeping a lot of your dreams and your aspirations to your closest circle and not speaking to anybody else about it, because oftentimes other people can infuse us with doubts. They can infuse us with kind of like negative vibes, even though we didn't really ask them for their opinion, but we all know how people are about that. So just trust in your path, okay? That is one thing that I see for you, group number 4. I don't want you to stray at all, okay? I want you to make sure that you keep your goals in mind and that you continue to trust that you can do it. And your next soulmate is somebody who believes in you 100%. And while the path may seem like there's still so far to go, I want you to keep in mind that like you have a whole lifetime for this, okay? You have a whole whack of time. If you just go like one step a day, you will get to really crazy places in a lot less time than you ever expected. And Bring your soulmate along, group number 4. Your next soulmate is somebody who believes in this. Your next soulmate is somebody who can motivate you, is somebody who can push you to get there and will celebrate you every step of the way. And even though they are more of the center of attention when you go out or in a public setting, when you have something big that is happening in your life, they're always there to talk you up. They're always there to hype you up, to make you be that person that they're proud of, to put you on the center of the stage and to say like, wow, look at what he or they have accomplished. I'm so proud of my friend. So they're very supportive, okay? They're that supportive partner or friend that just constantly makes you feel good about yourself. So this is a very valuable relationship for you, group number 4. I truly hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it gave you insight as well as motivation and a little bit of peace of mind. Let me know down below what really hit home, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos.